my goodness. Hello, everybody. Welcome as you join us once again for another episode, live stream, whatever you want to call it, of the vidIQ channel audits. I am your host. My name is Rob, and welcome to vidIQ. We are creator obsessed about your YouTube journey, about your YouTube education, and fingers crossed, your YouTube success in the future. What happens every single week at around about this time, every single week for a couple of hours, is that you file in, you sit down, and you hand over a sheet of paper. It's actually a digital piece of paper, and on it has a few scribbles about your channel, your subscriber size, what the channel's about, and we open these up and say nap for a lot of them. But some of you will get audited for the benefit of everybody. That's what we do here. We share our knowledge, our wisdom, our experience, and a little bit of fun and AI characters along the way so that you can take these fundamentals that we're sharing with you and take them to the next level with your YouTube channel. And as always, I could not do this without an incredible co-host. We swap duties every single week, and this person was hosting last week. This week, they are co-hosting, and they are the gaming aficionado of the vidIQ channel, with the greatest educational gaming channels on YouTube. If you search for how to start a gaming channel, you will find this person many times with millions of views, and he goes by the name of Dan the Man. Always surprised when I introduce him on screen with those eyebrows. Dan, welcome once again. How are you feeling? I've just got to do a bit of housekeeping.
Oh, okay. I thought he was asking me how I was feeling. He took his headphones off, so I don't know. I don't have any... Are you ready to listen to what I have to say now?
Yes, go.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm having technical difficulties in the background. I regret to say that AI Rob, if we hear from him today, is going to be looking a little bit not as
vertical.
Yeah,
cropped.
I can't fix it. I think it might be a StreamYard thing. I don't know, but if we hear from AI Rob today, he's going to be suitable for phones, so you guys can clip it. And I don't know.
Dan, let's ask him. Let's ask what's wrong with one of our AI characters.
Okay. Hey, AI Rob, we would like to know what's wrong with you. Why is your face like that?
And as usual, it will take AI Rob with the Windows 11 backdrop a few seconds to reply. And when he does, we can get on with this live stream. Yeah, if you're not new here, you'll be used to this awkward silence or like filling of audio until he says something. Oh, and AI Rob has apparently crashed now.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? It is an OBS problem. I'm having a lot of technical difficulties today, so I guess maybe we won't be hearing from AI Rob today.
Well, let's continue with the technical difficulties as I show you how this live stream is supposed to work, but probably won't over the next couple of hours. Welcome to the vidIQ channel reviews live stream. Simply fill in the correct form in the video description and your channel will be considered for review during a live stream. Channel reviews are free, so no need to send us a super chat, and don't spam us in the live chat. We'll ignore it and you may be put in timeout. If you need a channel audit right now, make sure to check out the vidIQ Coach AI tool that will help you with strategies, ideas, titles, scripts. Link in the description. It's a game changer. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow creators. Thank you to all of our moderators who help us out on the live stream every week. You know who you are. Give us a like if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and share it with like-minded fellow creators. All right, let's get started. I just wanted to note, Dan, that you have some love for AI Rob. People want to see and hear from him.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
I do hope you get it fixed at some point. We might hear from him. I don't know. We'll
I don't know. He's shy.
We'll continue to try and fix that as I begin this live stream with a bit of housekeeping as usual. Not only will we be doing channel audits, but we will be softly encouraging your super chats, which will bring a conversation to this live stream. Dan and I will take your questions and try and answer them as best we can for the whole vidIQ family here. So please don't ask a question on the lines of, why is my channel not getting views? Because it's very specific to your channel. We won't be looking at your specific channel during Super Chats. So it's something that we encourage that we can kind of answer together as a community and help everybody and try and get your super chats in earlier, sooner rather than later, because we always have tons at the end of a live stream that we're trying to answer, while all of you abandon the live stream thinking there aren't going to be any more super chats, any more channel audits. And in terms of channel audits, we have a wide range of channels that submit, and while they may be acceptable on YouTube for a particular audience, we have a somewhat universal audience here, and if there's anything we find inappropriate about the channel, we'll just apologize and say we can't really cover it on this live stream and move on. So apologies in advance if that happens. It rarely does, but it's kind of our disclaimer, because we don't want people getting annoyed because we didn't audit channel and no reason was given, and so that could be the reason. But with all of that being said, Dan, regardless of whether AI Rob is working, are you functioning enough to start auditing some channels?
I wanted to say that something occurred to me this morning, and it's that the fact that you guys are here shows that there's a number of you willing to take responsibility for your success on YouTube. And I say that because so many people that we hear from who don't attend such live streams, they kind of go into this mode of like blaming YouTube, blaming the algorithm, things like that. And just that you guys are here shows that you are willing to say, well, you know what? The YouTube algorithm is built how it's built. I can't control it. What can I do to make something people want to watch? We're going to give you a lot of tips today, and we're going to dive into a lot of things that hopefully enlighten you into that and get you making some cool stuff.
Dan, what a lovely and inspiring thing to say to start off with this live stream. I love it. I think we should have more words of wisdom from Dan each week. I do have one more bit of housekeeping. I'm trying to keep track of this because hopefully somebody in the future is going to compile all of this together, because I can't be bothered doing it. I'm too lazy. But I do want to show where we are with the subscriber count on our way to 2 million subscribers.
Nice.
We've now passed 1,780,000 subscribers at some point in last week. So yeah, thank you. I'll give you a little bit of an applaud here if that sound effect is working. It is. We'll try and track it, check in at the end of this live stream. Maybe I'll try and bait you into subscribing to this live stream by turning on subscriber mode or something to force you to do that, because I am mean and evil. But yeah, thank you again for your continued support. We hope we hit 2 million this year. But now let's get on to some channel audits. And the first channel that submitted on the non-gaming form that caught our interest this week goes by the name of JavaScript and AI, or Coding Nexus. As a channel name, that was a channel banner. They have 3,500 subscribers, and they are finding the latest in JavaScript and AI tech tutorial videos at your fingertips. So Dan, just first impressions here, given the subscriber count, size, number of videos, view counts recently, what's your like initial impressions here?
Some success, definitely a lot to show for their work here. We're seeing 200 videos. I would say after 200 videos, it depends. How many of these are long form? Can we just see?
I'll just have a quick check on shorts. They've done dozens of shorts at this point, yeah, and a mix of both.
Because yeah, I would say with that many subscribers and that many videos, they're probably thinking to themselves, okay, what can I do to get out of this slump that I'm in? Because we saw, just as you scrolled really quickly, some success in earlier content, but now not so much. And I'm gonna say ignoring the latest video, all these ones with the interesting looking like brain icon and the glowing text, I'm not getting a lot of like clues as to what these are. The other ones feel like they're gonna give me some like tips and advice and things like that, but then it's like quizzes, and I wonder if that pivot has been relatively unsuccessful. The latest video, titled Title 2, is 5 simple projects to learn JavaScript, according to the thumbnail, and that one's already doing way better than the quiz videos. Maybe they just
forget to write a title for that one.
I think they forgot to write a title. So yeah, I think they've had some success. I think they're testing things, which is always good and always encouraged. But yeah, I would be wondering to myself, like, okay, I've been at this for a while now. Why does this happen? Why did I fall on my face with these videos?
So I believe, Dan, there may be a case of a split audience personality. And if you dig into it a little bit, it all of a sudden becomes quite obvious. Find the latest in JavaScript and AI tech. right? And then you sort by most popular, and the most popular ones are those along the lines of ChatGPT specifically. Now, all of these are the most viewed videos on the channel. And again, I'm going to approach this from a complete layman here, but I find ChatGPT a lot less intimidating to use as, say, trying to code Java, because it's a language I've got to learn, and it's very much text-based, and a lot of things can go wrong. Whereas, you know, tools like ChatGPT are supposed to eliminate that for layman's like me. So fundamentally, I don't know how you can have a JavaScript coding channel and perhaps an AI building prompting channel together. It feels as if there's too much. I guess it's like having a first-person shooter game and a Minecraft game, like on the same channel, and they're not quite compatible. And I appreciate. I may be looking at this too simplistically, but like ChatGPT is more approachable, more welcoming. That's something I could probably get myself into, but JavaScript is too intimidating for me, and I'm not going to know near it. And the reviews seem to reflect that in terms of tens of thousands of views on ChatGPT. And then anything to do with kind of more coding specific stuff, especially these quizzes, the views just seem to collapse somewhat.
Yeah. Okay. You know how I was working on AI Rob?
Oh, is he working now?
I fixed him. So
great.
He just started talking part way through what you were saying, and I'm so sorry. He does want to tell you about the incredible opportunity on his video platform. Maybe we'll get to hear about it a little bit. But everything you said was probably very agreeable. Usually what you say, you and I are aligned. So I'll just go with that.
Thanks, Stan, for being so invested in imparting knowledge rather than
I clicked on something and I didn't realize it made him come to life. I'm sorry.
They've got a second one with title 2 here. This is really weird. And that one's got 2,000 views. What? Maybe that's a secret. Maybe you just need to write title as a title these days.
You know, we've been talking a bit about like these more authentic looking videos where somebody doesn't put a lot of effort into maybe their title or their thumbnail. They're just gonna, I'm just gonna post on YouTube like I do on any social media platform because I have something to say. And I mean, a lot of the popular channels that do this, they're very popular, so they can kind of do that. But I don't know, maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's something to the mystery of title 2. What does it mean? You know, and people are like, okay, I at least have to see, you know.
That might be the solution. So,
but
anyway,
earlier you said something that I did hear, and it was about a AI prompting channel with like a JavaScript learning channel. There's one context where that works, and that is like teaching people how to use AI tools to code faster, for example.
Yeah.
And other than that, it's kind of like if I'm coming to you, maybe I'm still trying to learn the fundamentals of JavaScript. Like, for example, I can't program, but I've been playing with all these tools and I've had to learn a couple little things to kind of like hold my head above water. But what would really, really help me if I understood enough about programming basics, because when ChatGPT gives me some code, I just have to trust it. And honestly, it's only getting worse. Like I used to be able to like copy and paste what it put and it'd have like one error and then like I could just ask it to fix it. Now, if it has an error, it just goes down this rabbit hole of despair and it doesn't know what to do. And it's like having an identity crisis, and it doesn't fix what I need. And because I don't understand programming, I don't know what I'm doing. So people like this, like you coding Nexus, are very important because people still need a foundation if they're going to use AI to help them code, at least in its current state. So I would definitely like keep that in mind. Keep in mind the audiences for your channel. Is it people who have never coded before? Maybe they're like me and they're trying to use ChatGPT and they're confused, you know? So there's like a lot of opportunities, and there's a lot of opportunities to say like, hey, you know, here's how to use ChatGPT, but make it work for you better so it doesn't stumble so much. Like if you're really good at prompting, maybe you can help people like me, like from battling with it for an hour.
Final point of observation. I appreciate that we've just been looking at long form videos for last 5-10 minutes, and they haven't posted anything in 2 months. I don't know why that is. I don't believe from the form that you said you were let me just check. You say you're a long form channel, as I can see here, and you are not creating any long form content. So I use this phrase every single week: commit to consistency. I would like to see you post a video every 2 weeks for the next 3 months, long form content on the channel, at least. You're doing shorts, which is fine. Continue to do that, but you state that you're a long form channel, so get back into the long form content creation. That is JavaScript and AI. All right, Dan, before we move to the gaming channel, do you want to get AI Rob to tell us what he's so keen about telling us?
Well, we got to ask him something.
All right, okay.
You want to ask him something?
Well, what did we try and ask him before? And
what was wrong with his face?
Yes. Yes, his cropped features.
Yeah. AI Rob, you're very cropped today. We're not sure what's going on. What happened to your face? Did you get in a horrible accident?
I thought you were just going to leave it as very cropped today.
Oh.
Like, how would AI Rob interpret that question?
He has a lot to say about this.
No doubt. Hello, Windows 11. Why does that keep... Oh, and he's muted. Muted Dan, can't hear him. Technical errors. Well, this is brilliant. Right.
1 second.
Let's just forget him. Let's move on to the next channel. Dan, just right. We need to concentrate on the next channel. Right.
I got it.
Next channel.
Forget
right.
about such.
He'll have to wait. Right. No. I'm waiting. Right. Next channel. This is a first gaming channel that submitted that caught our interest in the forums, and they go by the name of KlawPeels. I don't know what that means, and I also don't know what the channel banner is. But moving on to the videos themselves, there's a very clear illustration of a gamer, I think, who's going down a nostalgic route. So playing what looks to be Lego games, of which there are many over a 20, 25 year span at this point. And they're going back and completing these games and I guess giving their thoughts and reviews on it. And looking at the view count, Stan, this is just a real interesting niche and community that's started to build up. And they were playing on the Steam Deck previously with, maybe these are all indie games that they were playing.
Yeah, looks like it.
So it feels like they've got this concept of, it took me a few hours to complete this game. Indie games, though, it's not very popular. Let's try something a little more mainstream.
Yeah.
But these are all mainstream games from a long time ago. Can I find the right audience? And the answer seems to be, slowly but surely, yes.
Something's working here. So what I want to know is when you click into these videos, is it a camera pointed at a television screen or is it actually gameplay that is captured? Because the Steam Deck ones look like a camera pointed at a Steam Deck.
Yeah.
Which I think as a viewer would be like an instant turnoff because we have technology to capture, gameplay where it kind of fills up the screen and looks nice. So I think seeing those thumbnails instantly made me worry, they're going to be recording their screen without screen capture software. But these thumbnails, I'm not getting that sense right away because the TV, it looks like part of the set.
Yes.
And it's not as like, I never had that thought until I saw the Steam Deck. So I'm like, I kind of see their thumbnail style. I get it. But it's working better with the television because you can tell they're editing a lot of that TV screen. It was before it was just a picture of the Steam Deck with the menu opened or something like that. You know what I mean? So I'm liking the thumbnails is what I'm saying. And I wonder if that's helping with their success. It's
a unique way to just have like a loading screen because these are essentially or channel gaming art. And then, so they're not just placing that on the thumbnail, they're putting it inside a television, which kind of just adds, I guess, more of an environmental feel to it, which is kind of an interesting way of looking at this. But yeah, let's look at the idea now then. So I guess this speaks to a particular viewer very quickly, doesn't it? In that after 12 years, and if somebody has played Batman Lego, they're probably aware that it's quite an old game. So there's that instant recognition. So there's a simplicity to these thumbnails, which I think is interesting. And then what do you think the title complements the thumbnail in that I finally, the sense that it's taken me forever to complete these games, but I finally have. It doesn't necessarily tell us if it's a review or like a video essay. There's kind of a bit of a loose end there. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, like in terms of packaging, what we're seeing here.
I do think the word finally is saying a little bit more than you would assume just on the surface. Like I finally completed Lego City Undercover. It makes it seem like, a journey. And then the text in the thumbnail after 11 years. And so it's clear to me that it wouldn't take 11 years to complete such a game, but it's you saying like the game is 11 years old and you finally got around to it, which I think is cool. And I think they've chosen a good set of games. There's a lot of these. They're very popular, and it's nostalgic. A lot of these games are very nostalgic, and so you can get a lot of viewers just from playing something a lot of people recognize and go, "Oh my gosh, I remember that game. Like I played that when it first came out." And hearing someone's take on it today, they're kind of asking the question themselves, like, "Oh, does the game still hold up? I haven't played it in so long. Let's see, let's learn a little bit more." And this latest one seems to be really hitting that nerve.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that, Dan, because you would think some of these games would be more popular, such as the Lego Star Wars one, maybe the Batman one, Marvel one. But Lego City Undercover, I would assume that's one of the less popular Lego games out there, just because it's not attached to a franchise or an IP. But as you say, that's really taken off in the last week as well. Fantastic. I guess that just represents how consistency can really work. Because if this was the first game in the series, would it have had the same success? Probably not. But now YouTube has found the audience and is saying, okay, let's keep serving this up to the same audience that seems to be probably repeat watching this content. Yeah. Where do they go next, I guess, is the question. Like, there's not a finite number of these decades-old Lego games. Is there any way they can revisit some of these games like from a different angle, but still have that nostalgic feel to them? Or like, I guess one way is to maybe do a... they have done a compilation. Look here. So I think they've taken the Lego Star Wars games. Is that right? Oh, no, some Lego games, so not necessarily the Star Wars collection.
Yeah.
But they've compiled them up into a compilation as well, which interesting approach.
I think, there's a few different ways you can kind of cut this up. So the Star Wars ones would be good to do as a compilation next, like specifically focus on the Star Wars one, on those games, use that footage and stuff. But I would write a new script and talk about your overall like feeling about the entire series. Yeah, there was a great video. I think it's on the channel. It's called Burback. Eddie Burback and his brother made a video about Lego Star Wars because like at the time there was a new one coming out, and they talked about the old one, and then I think they made a follow up to talk about the new one or something like that. And it was kind of cool to see. It was more of a video essay on just like their memories playing the game and how the new one is better in some ways and not as good in other ways. And you could definitely do something like that, give your take on like the entire series and then maybe compare it to the more recently released one. That like those are some opportunities, but there will come a point where you've played all the Lego games in the way you're playing them, and you have to decide if there are more ways you want to cut these up or if you want to try another genre of game. But that is also, I would stick to the nostalgic, really popular game routes. Anything that is 10 years or older that like sold a certain amount of copies, made us like had an impact like the Lego games did, because that's really the game changer there. It needs to be something that people remember.
Assassin's Creed, I guess, could be an idea. That's a long lineage of games now, many of which are now coming up to a decade old. That could be one approach. But yeah, just going back to how this channel started, it feels as if they had a concept and an idea, but it wasn't until they found the Lego franchise and merged it into that it really, really worked out well. I'm intrigued enough to maybe to click on one of these videos for the first 10 to 20 seconds, Dan. So you pick one. Which one should we have a look at?
Why don't we look at this latest one? It's getting the most views.
Let's do it.
I'll be honest and say I was very surprised by this game. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it half as much as I did, as it doesn't have any official film license or anything attached to it like the previous Lego games, such as Lego Star Wars. But it turns out that actually didn't matter. I just finished playing Lego The Lord of the Rings a couple of weeks ago, which was my favourite Lego game so far in this odyssey of mine. But Lego City Undercover has swooped in and potentially taken that top spot already.
Stop it right there. So, fairly simple editing style at the moment. We've just recorded some footage and a voiceover on top.
Yeah, I don't have any notes on that. I think the audio's good. Yep. The intro's good. There was no nonsense there. If everyone just was noticing that, there was no like, welcome back to my channel. I'm KlawPeels, and you should subscribe. Only 10% of you are subscribed. Why won't you subscribe? Please subscribe. Also, I'm playing Lego Cities today, and it's pretty good. But before I get into that, let me just tell you about my Patreon. By the way, I just started YouTube memberships. And
all right,
posting on the community
Dan.
tab, so you should really go read those. Can you tell that I've been watching some YouTube lately?
Yeah.
I've never seen this game before, and it looks like Lego Grand Theft Auto, and it's giving me like interesting like vibes, and I kind of want to try it.
Yeah. All right, looks like we found another game for Dan to play.
Yeah,
that's good stuff. But yeah, as I say, it was kind of like concise, simple. Like maybe one of the upgrades in the future could be narrator in one of the corners, or you know, he talked about playing Lord of the Rings. Should they've maybe brought that up as a clip in one of the corners or something?
Oh yeah, some B-roll.
Some more B-roll maybe, because it does look as if it's just essentially a roll of a game. And as I scroll through the timeline, it does look as if it is just recording of the game itself. So it'd be interesting to see how the audience is retained throughout this video. But
you should try go cover Lego Island if you haven't yet.
Okay.
Super old, very nostalgic, and there's actually been some kind of recent videos on it. Someone's like trying to remake it, I think. But you could definitely, if you want to talk about nostalgic video games, Lego Island was, I think it's called Lego Island. It was one of the first Lego games, I think.
And in terms of engagement, 100+ likes, nearly 50 comments. This just has all of the hallmarks of a channel that's found a good idea, and they're now starting to snowball this momentum. They've just hit 500 subscribers.
Nice.
They're probably working their way to the first tier of monetization, but hopefully they'll find that they hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time a lot quicker. And community-wise, well, there's a count.
Yeah. Well, how many likes did that get? Okay. All right. A few.
I got 5.
It's good to do some behind the scenes stuff like that, just about your life. But I would say that the closer you can make this feel like this one, like to the things people are watching on your channel, the more traction you're going to get. So talk about the Lego games, ask people what their favorite Lego game is, ask people what their favorite Lego Star Wars game is. Like, I would schedule a post a day for like a month, and just sit down for a while and schedule out a whole bunch of posts, for one for every day, about Lego games. Do image posts, polls, quizzes. By the way, for quizzes, go on the Wikipedia page for the game you're playing and look at the trivia section. Like, there's some always like a couple of like good little tidbits in there. But I digress. So that's what I would do for the community tab. I know a lot of people roll their eyes when they hear community tab, like, what good is it? But new people are gonna find you that way. We have metrics that show people subscribe from our community tab posts. It's not a lot, but it happens. You know, you can definitely get on someone's radar with the community tab. So don't underplay that.
So we have lingered a little bit on this gaming channel, but I think it was worth it as a demonstration of what a channel with, at this point, they're about 25, 30 videos into their YouTube journey covering this topic. And they've established a community. They've established a core game to focus around, and an idea that makes it curious and interesting. So I think for all gaming channels who are in this kind of similar situation or haven't yet found their own little unique corner of YouTube, this is KlawPeels' little sofa that they can invite viewers to sit on and enjoy their content, and literally watch on the big TV, so to speak, as their thumbnails suggest. So yeah, great channel there. And we'll move on, Dan, to Aus Opal for Opal lovers. They have approaching 1,000 subscribers from 90 videos. And I guess gem/rock collection channel is my early assumption. They have decent number of views versus the subscriber size, which is encouraging. But I would say that is in spite of the quality of the thumbnails. But we'll get back to that if you have something else to add first.
Yeah, so this channel was the one I selected from the form, and it's because I saw a lot of potential. I feel like this person spends a lot of time on their ideas, and it's time well spent. And I'll show you why in a little bit. But if we just look at the thumbnails, that was the first thing that struck me. I'm like, okay, I feel like some low-hanging fruit for this creator, if they want more views, is got to improve these thumbnails. The latest one is, you could tell, a big investment in terms of time and also money. And we're talking about, like, you're trying to go on this journey that you're taking people on. You're telling the story of going from $150 to $10,000, but the text is red, and in that sense, almost invisible to the eye for people who are just scrolling past on YouTube. Red text is just notoriously bad on thumbnails.
Yeah.
And it works in very, very, very limited capacities. This is not one of them, in my opinion. It doesn't look great. I think it would have been better to use bright green or white with like a black stroke around it or something like that. and that would have improved the thumbnail quite a bit. But I also think that the background color they chose was a bit interesting because they have these rocks on the background and they're blending in a little bit. Like the contrast isn't really good. So there's a lot of like just image editing things they can do to improve the thumbnails across the board. And I think that'll help tremendously because I think their ideas are pretty solid. We do need to talk about the actual videos themselves, but before we get into one, Rob, you know, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I think just continuing down the thumbnail line, because that is, I think, their biggest Achilles heel. But at the same time, the videos are performing well. So just imagine if I can increase the click-through rate. I think this is a really good / bad example of when thumbnails are so flat that your eye doesn't know what to look at or focus on first. Is it the numbers? Is it the rock? Is it the person? Like everything is in the foreground of a thumbnail, especially in this latest one. And also the journey. So that's such redundant information to add to a thumbnail because it's a transformational thumbnail. We've seen many of these, you know, where we go from somewhere to another place. It doesn't need to be explicitly said on a thumbnail that there is a journey going on because we see it.
Yeah.
And then, I think just getting away from these harsh colored backgrounds and then finding text or using less text that works is really going to help them. But, you know, let's try and look at this from the opposite point of view and like, how are these videos still being clicked on if the thumbnails aren't working? And I'm wondering if it's the titles that are bringing people into these in terms of how to polish and value opals like nobody else does. You know, that's a tutorial, but it gives you kind of like that air of superiority, like I'm going to show you better than anyone else how to do this. Or turning pocket change into a gemstone adventure. That kind of starts off a curious story. And I really like the way the titles are being delivered here.
Yeah.
I think perhaps the most ironic one here is, we'd have to click on it, is how cheap lighting ridge opals makes me money. And that seems to suggest that you know a way to present your opals so that they're more desirable and people will spend money of them, but then you don't do it for your own thumbnail. Like how like I could title something, how a decent thumbnail would earn you more clicks.
Right.
And that's kind of like the YouTube version of the video that you've made here. So yeah, thumbnails, I think we look at them and say they are consistent. There's a bit of branding there, but whether you just get somebody on Fiverr to help you create a template or something, or start on Canva, that may be where we're starting. So Dan, did you want us to look at a video?
So before we do, I do want to just focus. I want you to click on the latest one, but before you do, it's the title that kind of gets me on this because I watched the intro of this video. Turning pocket change into a gemstone adventure. I know you're Australian, and so the exchange rate's a bit different, but I still feel like 150 Australian dollars to a lot of people probably wouldn't feel like pocket change. And I'm bringing that up because they really committed to it. If you click on the intro now, just watch let's watch the first like 30 seconds to a minute. Like
Let's do it. Yep.
Kind of long. You have to rewind.
Yeah.
A good day. I found this in my back pocket. $150.
Sound effects.
What am I going to do with this? Oh, that's cool. All right. I have an idea. Convert this $150 into.
If you pause it real quick, it's that's like he's literally like pulling it out of his pocket, like $150. Like a lot of people probably don't have that just in their pocket. Like, oops, you find if you're lucky, like $20, I think is the most I've ever found in a pocket before.
Maybe his audience does. You know,
maybe right.
Like a baby boomer generation. Sorry if I'm kind of labeling you here, but like with more disposable income. But yeah, I get the point. Like you're not just gonna have drug money cash in your back pocket type of thing.
Now I only bring that up because I want your videos to resonate with as many people as possible. And talking about like, $150 as pocket change might kind of cut how many people watch the video. You know what I mean? But that's not even like the thing that was in the video that really got me. That intro was 18 seconds, but it's not over. It goes on for almost a full minute. And he almost explains the premise 2 times.
Right, okay.
You can even double speed it if you want, and we can just kind of like past the 18-second mark, we can just kind of watch for a bit.
$1,000. How? Well, anybody can do it, and I'm going to show you how. I will buy some cheap opal, and convert it and trade my way all the way up to a $10,000 gem such as that. Can I do it? I don't know. Come on the journey. It's going to be fun. Come and find out. How far can we get? Well, watch till the end to see the results. So I've got no idea of the journey how we're going to get there. But I know one thing. This $150, I'm determined to convert into 10,000. Now, during the journey, I don't know how the improvement of the products or the stones we get will turn into profit as we go up and up. So we might sell some of those things on the website, maybe join a live auction, maybe some collaboration. But one thing is for sure, everything that we do. So technically, this 150.
I'll pause it there.
See how it's like, I'm going to keep explaining the premise. Yeah. But there's a part of you that's kind of like, well, get to the video now. Like, let's go, let's do it. Like you get us excited. Like, because I understand it's probably the cheapest you could probably get that kind of, you know, those amount of opals for is probably $150. So that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But like getting to that point is taking a really long time. We can see stuff is happening very close up, like polishing things like that. So I'm guessing you have to like polish them up to make them worth more. Which is interesting. They're using their skill set. That's unique to them.
You got to shine it up, turn it sideways, and stick it. No, sorry, I shouldn't. That's a wrestling reference.
Oh, I think they're doing something that's unique to them. Like, and this is perfect. And I like how you've kind of styled it, like so many other YouTubers, where you're like, I'm gonna go from this to this, and it's gonna be really challenging. But just go into the video. Like when you watch Ryan Trahan do the Penny series, he doesn't spend the first minute of the video explaining the Penny series. He'll have rules. Yeah. But he'll kind of go out and he'll start walking, and then he'll explain, okay, I have some rules to this challenge. And they're quick. They don't take that long to get through. Number one, I can't use anything but a penny. Or number two, you know what I mean? And that, I feel like that cadence needs to be ramped up a little bit, because part of the thing that will hold your video back, it's not just getting clicks, it's keeping people on. And if people drop out in the first minute because the intro's too long, you're never getting them back. And YouTube sees that there's attrition with your video, and it's not going to spread as far. So it's not just titles and thumbnails. We talk about them a lot because we want people to get in the door, but the quality of the video matters greatly. And I'd really, really like challenge you and all of you to like kill your darlings, meaning cut out the things in your videos that don't really need to be there so you can keep the pacing going.
Something I want to emphasize what you said there, Dan, was ramp it up a little bit, because the temptation here could be to say, well, let's Mr. Beastify it.
You don't want to do that.
That intro could have been done in like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
But we don't want that from this creator, because we don't think this creator's audience would really react well to that. But there was a lot of repetition. Yeah. I think indecisiveness as well. Like, I don't know how we're going to do this. Like, you're not really selling the story to me here. Let's not worry about the indecision. Like, you could be definite and say, this is definitely going to fail, or I'm going to definitely make this work. But like, be confident in the story that you're trying to set up. Because it felt like there was a lot of filler. Like maybe it just needed to go through a round of editing to cut out almost like the ums and the ahs and the buts, but almost like there was sentences long worth of pauses in the storytelling. So you know, I'm imagining that that video could have probably done with an edit down to say 14 minutes or something. Feels like it was that stretched out.
You don't have to talk fast. You don't have to talk loud. You don't have to be Mr. Beast. But yes, you do want to cut out repetition. You want to keep the pace up. But yeah, you're absolutely right. When people hear us say, hey, ramp it up a little bit, like they instantly think, oh, you want me to be like Mr. Beast, but the gem rock guy. Like, no. just cut out those repetitious parts. And you mentioned confidence. It reminded me of a video I saw a long time ago where someone was playing The Sims 4 and they were designing a house. But the whole time they were just ragging on themselves and talking about, this doesn't even look good. And they're still going. And then the comments were even like, this looks really good. Like they were trying to bring the person back up. Like, you know, the lack of confidence shows through in videos, and people want to watch you because you're kind of presenting yourself as like this expert, you know? And so, yeah, I did notice the lack of confidence in this creator, and it wasn't that bad, but it's the little things, right? Like, I think that would help.
I don't know if it's lack of confidence. Maybe it's on camera presence. Maybe I want to phrase it as, because let's put it like this. This creator is probably ahead of 99.9% of their subscribers and viewers in terms of knowledge, possession of items, and, you know, just being on YouTube. There may be like one or two creators in this space who have more subscribers and viewers than you, and they've seen your channel. But you know, you're effectively starting to build yourself up as an authority, given that you have 800 subscribers. You get as many views as subscribers. And is there an outlier here? There's like one outlier. But yeah, Dan, when you look at that, one video has 10,000 views, but then everything else has around about 1,000 views. That's a really good return on consistent investment for this channel.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, I feel like it's due to their ideas. I think they have some really solid ideas. Like you probably ask yourself, if I had, you know, opals, like what kind of channel would I make? Like my channel's about opals. Like what the heck? This person's doing it, and they have a lot of really cool ideas, and they know their topic well. They're good at what they do. Just judging by that B-roll, we saw them like shining the, you know, like all that is working. So just kudos to them for some awesome ideas.
I forgot to do something after we audited our first gaming channel of the week, which is Rob Wilson's Self-Indulgent Gaming Corner, where I ask you and Dan, what video have you been playing this week? How have you been enjoying it?
What video have I been playing this week?
Video game. Sorry, I'm falling over my words today, but thank you, Dan, for pointing that out. Dan, I'm going to ask you first, what video game are you playing? How are you finding it? Tell us a little bit about that story, and we'll get the views from others, such as the Create Outdoors, who's playing the American Truck Simulator.
So I've been playing the new No Man's Sky update, and that's been a lot of fun. There's a new seasonal kind of thing that they have, and doing that. And yeah, just getting into that again. I love how that game has been updated for free so many times.
You're a big fan of that game, aren't you?
Oh yeah,
you always come back to like every 6 months with like a new update or something. So
it is made my official rotation. We should ask AI Rob. Now, I promise he'll work this time.
All right, okay.
So let's ask him. AI Rob, listen, we've asked you this before. I know you don't like video games. You only like to make videos or whatever. But before you did that, you probably had a life before that. Did you play games? If so, what was your favorite video game of all time?
And as we wait for that answer, we'll see that we still have a Gorilla Tag gaming community in here. I think 3 have been playing it on previous
I have some advice
weeks.
for them, by the way. Don't let me forget.
Right, okay. Looking forward to that. There we go. There's another Gorilla Tag one.
The interruption, but the focus here shouldn't be on my personal gaming preferences.
Come on.
Yeah.
Instead, let's discuss a larger issue, which is shifting your fantastic gaming content to Rob's video social media platform for creators.
It's still hawking
Why
this.
worry about my favorite game when you could be earning over 100% of the ad revenue on your own gaming?
100%.
Yes, we're in debt. But that's just because we're putting creators like you first.
Right.
Quite right. Quite right.
Earlier, he blamed kittens, by the way, for the problems he was having.
Oh, dear. Okay, Dan, you can keep bringing up games that people are playing. And I will tell you that I am still on this God of War Valhalla DLC kick. My personal opinion is that DLC shouldn't take more than 2 weeks to complete. And so I'm getting a little frustrated. It's hard. And I've done one of those gamer sins, Dan, that I thought I would never do. And that is, I've changed the difficulty. Like, that just feels as like you're ruining the game when you do that. Like, I've made it easier, but I'm at a point where I'm ready to move on and play something else. So I've put it down to a medium setting, and I still can't finish it. So my patience has really been stretched, because with it being roguelite, like, you die and then you just do the same things over and over again for 20 minutes until you get to the same boss and get killed again. And yeah, I may just put it onto the easiest level now just to see what happens in the story, and then I can move on with my gaming life. But that's what I've been playing.
I was watching some of the new vertical live streams on YouTube, and I keep stumbling upon people playing Gorilla Tag, and they sound relatively young and stuff. They're in VR. They're having fun. But one thing these Gorilla Tag streams keep having in common, and I don't know why they do this. I'm kind of wondering if it works, to be honest with you, is they put their live YouTube sub count like you do with your other camera, but they have it on the screen at all times so that you can watch their subscribers go up. I just want to tell you, if you're going to do that, don't do that. All you need to do is entertain people. And I've been testing out the vertical live streams, and every time I do, I get pretty much on average 100 subs an hour. And I don't ask them to subscribe. I'm just trying to have a good time with them, and I'm trying to give them a good experience. That goes for all YouTube videos, but just, you don't have to. Your sub count means nothing anyway. All right. We like it. You get big shiny plaques, but it's stupid. It doesn't do anything for you. and people are watching these streams and they're scrolling to you, and all they see is like you running around in VR, which is already kind of hard to watch, but they're like, maybe I'm going to watch this for a bit. They get viewers. It's not like no one watches, but that's a sub count is covering part of the screen, and it's just so self-serving. Like, make content for the people watching, not for you and your sub count ego. All right. That's my advice to Gorilla Tag. Anybody doing that, but Gorilla Tag specifically, for some reason, has this culture of, oh, put your sub count on the screen. It totally works. Like, have you tried it without the sub count on the screen? Maybe you'd get more subscribers.
And I'm going to prove Dan wrong by leaving this up right now, because we've just gained tons of subscribers, because this is...
We were doing that anyway.
Look at it. We're shooting up to 1,781,300 subscribers. I can't stop it, Dan. It's just crazy.
It was already happening. It was already happening.
All right. Let's audit another channel, shall we?
Okay.
We're going to look at the Golden Mindset here, which has 1.3 thousand subscribers. Thumbnails which look of a, I'm not going to say varying degree of quality, but like a varying style.
Yes.
So they don't necessarily look like they're from the same creator, but they are, objectively speaking, all fairly decent thumbnails. And then it's like some outliers, some with hundreds of views, some with thousands of views. Just like a first impression here, Dan, what do you think we're looking at?
It looks like they talk about big, like, world events, international stuff, you know,
stories.
Stories. I'm seeing some like old scams, mysteries, things like that. It does have like a geographic focus, but it does seem like the ultimate like draw to the channel is like, you know, scams and things going on that are pretty negative. I mean, negative in topic, not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's interesting. There's a lot of different topics they're covering that are getting a lot of views. Some videos aren't getting as many views. Oh yeah, not even that long ago, they were not breaking 1,000.
They've gone through a little bit of a path here, haven't they? It looked as if it was previously motivational stuff, which a lot of creators have been trying recently. And as you say, not much traffic. And now they've kind of pivoted onto these big picture stories, like, I guess, bank heist stories. That's kind of always an intriguing one. And then like just a real uplift in thumbnail quality, if not, specific consistency.
Mm-hmm.
I want to click on one of these, Dan. Given that all of these are now kind of outliers for the channel, as you can see from the vidIQ tool here, that's just saying, you know, this video here is getting 30 times more views than usual. This one 42 times more views than usual. It's a quick way of seeing how a channel is now starting to have good outliers. Let's pick this one.
Welcome to another video from the Golden Mindset. Number 5, Alexandra Shan.
Wait.
This young woman is experiencing...
I will wait. Okay, I will wait.
Okay, hold on. The intro was welcoming you back to this specific channel.
Yeah.
And then it says the words, number 5 was so-and-so. Like, okay, wait. Take the first few seconds and get rid of that, and then replace it with, today we're going to see the 5 people you won't believe actually exist. Number 5 is so-and-so because of blah, blah, blah. I know it says it in the title, but it's... I already forgotten what the title said. I decided to click, and then there wasn't like anything at all. It only needed to be a few seconds, but just something to remind me why I was there would have helped. I got really like jarred by that.
Well, I mean, this video didn't get as many views as some of the more successful ones recently, so let's try. I'm going to try this one. Why Captain left MV Explorer for sinking.
Welcome to another exciting video from the Golden Mindset. If there was any ship after the Titanic that people trusted, it was the MV Explorer.
Okay, so we're proper
intro. It was the
intro.
first ship in the world designed to sail in ice. Its performance was so impressive that it set a world record by saving many other ships in Antarctica. On November 27, 2007, in the dark and desolate Southern Ocean.
I'll pause it there because, like, we're 20 seconds in. It's already throwing quite a lot of facts and information and stories at us, which is good. There's a good speed and cadence to it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a faceless channel.
Yeah.
They're in the very definition of it, in the sense that they're taking stock footage. It sounds a bit AI voicey to me, but a fairly decent one.
If it is,
yeah, it's good. But this is one of these channels that's kind of breaking out of the, I guess, mass pool of faceless channels, which, you know, we've audited many of these recently, which just barely get more than 10 views per video. And, you know, maybe this channel realized that the motivation niche as a faceless channel is just too competitive right now, so I'm going to try this. Any thoughts just sort of jumping out of that video, Dan?
I think this is just given some of the content I've seen recently. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. But one thing I think a lot of creators who do these types of videos should make sure they do as a good practice is just make sure, and it could have been in the description, I don't know, just make sure you source your information. Be very transparent about where you're getting stuff from. Like, there's a lot of like stuff being put on YouTube. A lot of people are using like AI to write videos and stuff now, and sometimes they're not fact checking what they're getting. And I don't know anything about the topic.
Right.
They could be doing all that work. I'm saying this for any channel who makes videos like this, because we have a lot of different types of channels watching. I think one thing all creators who make these types of videos should do is make sure they're sourcing their information and making sure they're just being fully transparent about where it came from. Because there's a lot there. There's a lot of like you said, throwing facts at us, like boom, boom, boom. So if you're going to teach any kind of history on YouTube, just very, very important that you give good, solid information.
And then maybe I'll have a quick look at this one because I guess there's a kind of a triggering or conflict-inducing packaging. You know, basically saying that a country is stupid for trying this mega project. So let's listen to the first few seconds of this one.
This is the Line project in Saudi Arabia, also known as Neom Future City. The world will witness such a mega project for the first time in the coming years. Neom is not only big, but also the costliest project in the world.
Now, I don't know about you, Dan, but I'd say there's been a significant increase in like production quality overall. The voice
is different.
I couldn't tell 100% that was AI because I felt as if I heard a bit of an accent in there, which an AI voice wouldn't necessarily do. It didn't do the intro, you know, as you were complaining about earlier on. It put you straight into the content, but also set the scene pretty well as well. You know, it was 15 seconds in and I felt as if I'd been set up nicely for the next 9 minutes.
Yeah. It explained the topic well. There wasn't any intro, welcome you to this certain channel. Narration by Rowan. Okay, so they're crediting the narrator here. That looks like a bit of keyword stuffing at the bottom there. You don't really need to do that. Copyright disclaimer.
Yeah.
That doesn't really do anything. If you violated copyright, it's up to the copyright holder whether or not they want to come after you. It doesn't matter what disclaimers you put in your description. And I'm not seeing sources of the information. They said who was narrating, but we don't see where the information is coming from. Again, just good practice, just something you should do. But yes, this is it could be in the outro too. This is a very interesting video, very interesting graphics here. But now, because of that copyright disclaimer, I'm wondering, you know, how much of this is their original content. If it's transformative, it's transformative. That's great. But yes, just very interesting. And I encourage everybody to just make sure you're on the right side of all the rules and laws of the land.
Narrated by Ben Duckett.
I feel like they probably hire different narrators for these.
Who are these people? Because this one, hang on, let's listen to this. Oh, I need to mute.
Surrounded by concrete and metal. The creators believe so much in its security that they didn't even install an additional security system, calling it the unbreakable vault.
Oh, this is getting freaky now, Dan. Like when I first listened to this, I thought that was an AI voice, and then I wasn't entirely sure. So I'm getting thrown. Oh, it's getting scary. You've seen the Sora projects from OpenAI, right? And
yeah.
How this time next week,
it's not out yet.
This time next week, this live stream will be fully automated, and we won't have to do a single thing. Well, actually, given
sure about that?
Given AI Rob, actually, I'm not quite sure on that one. Anyway.
Yeah, we already have some automation. It doesn't work too good.
Anyway,
I just want to say, like, I don't want to be like the Golden Mindset is giving me a lot of opportunities to talk about like important topics, but I'm not accusing them of anything. It's just, you know, because I've seen channels like it be accused of things, I just want them to be on the correct side. Since they are here, they're looking for advice. They're already, again, leagues ahead of a lot of creators who just want to like make YouTube videos. So I think there's a lot of really encouraging stuff there. and hopefully we've given you some tips and some things to think about.
We haven't audited too many channels here in the first hour, but I think they've all had different degrees of interest that we've drilled into as channels. So, often we fall into a trap of just looking at thumbnails and titles every single week. I don't think we've done that so far. We've looked into the ideas, how a channel's constructed, some of the production of the videos themselves. So hopefully you're finding this useful so far. But we do need to get to our super chats because we have a lot of them already. And the first one comes from Old Man Gib, $25. Thank you. Hey, y'all. Due to a cascading series of events, I will be leaving YouTube for an indefinite time. I want to thank vidIQ and every one of you for your support. I pray the absolute best for you. It's a shame, Old Man Gib, to hear that you're taking a break. But as I will always say, YouTube isn't going anywhere. Life sometimes gets in the way. Take all the time you need, and the vidIQ family will be welcoming you upon your return. And just, a huge thank you for all of the previous memberships you've given to the community in the past. So we'll see you soon, Old Man Gib. Take care. We have Eddie, who's now a 3 months member. Hello, good to be back. Spent the month cooking. Spent a month cooking.
Do you think they meant like making videos, like they've just been like hard at work, nose to the grindstone?
You know what I immediately thought of, Dan, when I heard that phrase cooking? I thought Breaking Bad, and I will leave it there for what that potentially means. So this is now a super chat from Eddie. Hi, I've been busy for some streams, but I have some good news and some questions. I had a video that did 100,000 views. Brilliantly. Excellent, awesome, and have subs every day. How long does that last? How long are the YouTube gods gonna keep my channel going with this one single video?
Who knows? That video could get 1 million views, or it could today.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's nice and evergreen. It gives you a nice slow trickle for a long time. But hey, listen, the more important thing is, what are you going to do to follow up on that?
Absolutely.
You've brought in a lot of new people to your channel, and they want more. They watched one, they'll watch another. So I'd be following up. The pressure's on, but try not to see it that way. It's even if your next video doesn't quite hit the same way, it's okay. But just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, you have to look at it from this point of view. 100,000 people have been served up this video and watched it. So what are you going to have them see next on the browse feed? Like, that next video really has to connect well with that audience. Like, going back to that KlawPeels one, where they've just watched a video about Lego, Marvel Lego, and then Batman Lego comes up next. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of related. Yeah, I think I'll watch that. Have some connection between that really successful video. Exotic Parallel. I made an unlisted video I didn't share, and it got 13 views. How many views from yourself does YouTube register? Does it hurt watch time or anything?
They'll all count as views, but it's not gonna push the video to anybody new. Like let's say you give it 100 views by watching it over and over again 100 times. You put it on YouTube, like public. In my opinion, it's not just going to be like, oh, wow, a lot of people watch this. YouTube knows it's you watching it over and over again.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll hurt or harm or benefit you in any kind of way. We always have some views on our videos before they get published because we do watch them to put chapters on them and things like that. We don't really worry about it. Would you say that's your stance, Rob?
The number is so minuscule here. When you think at the scale of YouTube, I don't think 13 views is really going to register as a good thing or a bad thing. And because it's unlisted, it's not going to impact watch time in any way, shape, or form for your requirements. And yeah, something not to be worried about. If you were like constantly, Control F5 your browser for an hour to try and get 300 views, then we might have some concerns. But we assume you're not doing that. And 13 views just isn't going to move the needle up or down. Lucky Nomad Slots. Good morning to you as well, wherever you are in the world. I presume it's maybe it's Vegas. Oh. So it would be the morning there. Free Game Pass Hunters. Thanks for all your help. Thank you for the super chats. We appreciate it. Dylan. Any provision for one-on-one to Portugal? My channel is in English. So I think we are working on a way to make the one-on-one coaching available to more creators. Do stay tuned. I don't have a specific answer for you here, but maybe contact support at vidIQ and I'll be able to give you a more accurate answer on that. But it's great to hear that you're interested in one-on-one coaching. We might mention that a little bit later as well. Alan Craft, do vertical live streams? All right, here's an interesting question. Do vertical live stream watch hours count towards monetization watch hours? I can't find an official statement from YouTube on this. That's such an interesting question because you're watching a live stream in the Shorts player.
So
I don't know the answer.
I feel like in this video, they said that it does, but I could be misremembering. It could have made that up in a dream. But like, watch on the Creator Insider channel, watch this video, because this may be why I heard that yes, they do. Yeah. Because they're not shorts. They are, you know, sometimes hours long. So I believe Renee may have said in this video that they do count. But go watch it. Creator Insider is YouTube. That is a YouTube like channel from YouTube.
So vertical live on YouTube explained is what you want to search for on YouTube, and I think this should be an answer
thumbnail here
in there. All right,
but I believe they do.
Let's welcome a third co-host on here. Why not? He is a man who is so passionate and fired up that he will get you motivated to create content. No, I don't mean AI Rob.
Oh, sorry.
Get him off. I'm talking about Viper, of course.
Oh,
hey Viper, what's up?
Man, I feel like I have not been here in forever. I had to come back. Hello, Dan. Hello, Rob. Good morning.
Hello.
I see you have joined the Apple Vision Pro world. So I'm really disappointed that you're not there with ski goggles on right now.
You know what? I should have, but yeah, sometimes you need a break.
Maybe we need Viper to audit a channel with the Pro Vision goggles on, see if it makes any difference. All right, well, Viper, I'll chuck you in here with another question from our Super Chat audience, and it's Michael Brink asking, launched with 5 videos at once. Oh, sorry, I think there's a question. Launch with 5 videos at once or 3 on day 1, then 1 a week. So this is about like when a channel first goes live, should I give your audience like multiple options or stagger them?
I would just launch all of them at once just to give them a portfolio of what's expecting you. And also give YouTube a better chance to figure out where your content needs to go in their great system of distribution. So I would say launch all 5 of them at once, but that's just me.
What about you, Dan?
You could. I think we've tested this within our community, right? Like you can absolutely launch multiple videos at the same time, especially on your channel. Viper's right. Like having stuff for people to watch, especially if one of those videos takes off and you're like, oh, what else does this person do? So having some videos up already is great. I think if we're cutting it between like 5 or 3, I feel like we're overthinking it a little bit, you know. Whichever one feels right to you. Like what's the cadence you want to post every week? Maybe if you want to do 1 a week after that and forever, then maybe 3 is good. So you kind of have 2 videos as like a head start. But it's up to you, really.
Yeah, probably no answer is a wrong answer, but I think we're all agreeing that maybe at least 2 videos, so they've got at least one more thing to watch after their first video is launched immediately, is a starting point.
Yeah.
Vader's Order. Hi. Do certain words on text captions affect the performance on shorts? Won't type it fully, but for example, using the word kill in a sentence.
I haven't seen that as a negative impact. I guess it depends on the context.
I used to think that it had an impact on thumbnail, but I don't think it does anymore.
I'm going along those lines as well. I can't see any hard evidence where using a word such as kill, because you can that is a word that can be used in a lot of game titles as well.
Yeah.
There is probably a threshold you'll work towards in terms of words and the context they're used. But you know, there's one way to test it. You test it if you test it in a title and there's like a significant decrease in views from that one video, and then the next one is back to normal, that might be the answer that you're looking for. But
do you want me to ask AI Rob? He's
as far as I know. All right, sure. Go on, ask AI Rob.
Into the grand network of YouTube. We just never know.
All right, go on, Dan.
AI Rob, we have a quick question. Someone's asking if they use the word kill in a sentence in their videos, maybe the title or the video itself, will that video be banned from YouTube because killing is wrong, regardless of the context?
And now that I actually look at the question and the name of the person who's asking the question, it scares me quite a lot, actually.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't do that.
Apologies for the interruption, but let's shift gears to a platform that would never ban your content based on mere word. That's right. At Rob's video social media platform for creators of video, we focus more on fairness towards creators.
Okay.
Indeed.
Yes, we're in debt. But isn't that because we're too busy ensuring your freedom of expression and sharing all ad revenue with you? Leave YouTube and its potential bans behind and join us.
Okay, well, you can do that.
What the hell is that?
That was AI Rob.
Oh,
He's terrible.
Viper, you've been away for a while. I've
been away too long, apparently. Wow. Okay.
Things have changed.
Things
have changed.
He's kind of a shill. I wouldn't take his advice, honestly.
All right. 9 Finger Wrenching. You're a member for 8 months. Goodness, that could be a record. You'll get your own personal sound effects for this week, which sounds like that. Design Burst continues the super chat streak. Now that AI can do interior design, what's a better approach? Use it even if we see flaws, or focus on interior design process in ways AI can't? Ooh, interesting question.
I would say the second one, personally.
Yeah, I would go for the latter. That's what's going to keep you unique and protect yourself from AI content.
I can't tell you how many times I've asked AI to do something, and I just end up hiring a person. In fact, ever since AI and how much it was supposed to innovate everything, I've never hired more people to do things because I get so frustrated. I'm like, okay, I had a vision that I wouldn't normally pursue, but because I was told AI could do it for me, I'm just going to try it. Oh, it came out terrible? Cool. Now I really want to do it though. And so I go and hire somebody. Like, you are a human interior designer. You're going to have a different approach, especially if you do this for client work. They're not going to trust AI. Like, AI is going to give them a bunch of made up furniture. And like, where do I get this stuff? You know, like, oh, you made it up. Got it. Just be the human, like, to what AI is doing.
Next question comes from Kid Time Crew. We can't choose just one niche. Please help.
Choose just one niche anyway.
Yeah, you need to focus.
So I guess if I was trying to understand the question a bit more, maybe they're looking at niche in a very simplified way that might be comedy or gaming or travel. And I'm wondering if they think about this a little bit more in terms of what am I the values and the passion I want to share with my audience, and can that almost like transcend a specific niche?
Yeah.
So that they can talk to their audience about different topics, but it's kind of like the same communication and niche. It's a bit nuanced, and I appreciate that. Given the way the question is being phrased and looking at the profile picture, I may be going into too much detail here, but you do have to speak to a certain audience on a consistent basis, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to play one video game or do one type of comedy skit. Niche isn't quite as binary as that.
The Spiffing Brit strategy is to just, he's the guy who breaks stuff. Mostly that is in video games, but every so often it's YouTube itself as a platform, or Steam. So having a thing that you do that you're good at, that people enjoy your content for, could be a good way to break out of one niche. It's not like Rob said, a binary thing. There's a lot of different ways you could look at niche.
Also, there are different let's not get confused with we're confusing the niche for a confusing type of content, because you can be in a niche and do a sit down video, you can do a day in the life video, you can do a vlog video, you can do all that in the same niche. So just, you have options.
True.
And then to kind of follow on from that question, Jeep Psychology 101, is 4 focuses in one channel too many? And yes, the 4 are relevant to each other. So my question is, are those really 4 different focuses then, or is this just one focus with different branches from that one focus?
Relevant in what way?
So when you choose your niche, then sometimes I think you would need to refer to a sub buckets of niches or sub buckets of topics. I would try to limit it to maybe 3 or less sub buckets, but that's just me, because you don't want to go too all over the place, because then you kind of lose your audience. So that's my opinion.
What I can see is Dan sneakily in the background is looking at the channel to try and
I
answer
just
this
wanted
question.
to know what that looks like. There's like reviews and there's wiring, like we're talking about reviews for Jeeps, but then wiring the Jeeps and then exploring places that you happen to explore, driving the Jeep there.
So that might be a different audience. You know, you might have enthusiasts who just loves Jeeps as a brand and a culture, but then there's like the motorist repair restoration enthusiast, and that's kind of like a different focus again. And then a person who like isn't really interested in the tech behind the vehicle, but they just like traveling around in the Jeep. That could be another niche audience. So I worry that there might be too many cross.
Like, yeah, for example, there's a lot of off-roading content. And so let's say your audience was people who liked off-roading. They may not also want to know about, like, you know, what's going on with haters and trolls in your comments, which is like one of their videos. So, you know, just keep in mind, make a persona. This is this advice, just general marketing advice. Make a persona for the audience, the customer that you want coming to your store, your channel. And who is that person? Because you want them coming back consistently and you want as many of that person as possible. So whenever you're about to come up with a new video idea, think to yourself, oh, does my, as an example, off-roading audience, would they be interested in this video? Oh, no? Okay, then I won't make it. Or how can I give this an off-roading twist? Like, how can I get the off-roading people to be interested in this thing? How can I incorporate it somehow? So just really play around with ideas, but always with that persona in mind, that who is that person that needs to come back every time they watch a video? Or every time you make a video.
Red Beard Flynn. I make primarily long form, but had a short go viral. Total channel views were 2 million. Could this hurt my long form audience long term?
Wait a minute. I primarily make long form, but had a short go viral. I wouldn't say it's going to hurt your audience. I think your metrics are going to be annoying. I think you're going to see a lot of views and subscribers, but they're not going to be watching your long form, and you're going to get frustrated by that.
Yeah.
That's because Shorts is just a different platform within your channel, and that's okay. It's only bad if you internalize it like that. They're like, oh, no one's watching my long form. What the heck? It makes some long form videos.
Also, the shelf life of a short is significantly less than of a long form video, so that won't hurt you. It shouldn't hurt you as much as the long form going viral would.
Or it can be, Viper. I don't know if we're just in this weird tutorial universe where some of our shorts from 6 to 12 months ago are still getting views.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that works. So it's often from search traffic, but sometimes it's from browse as well. I guess also what I would suggest here is, can this short viral be turned into a long form piece of content? Because you have a related video link that you could plaster on that short that will then direct those viewers to that long form version of it. And that would be a good way to cross over the audience if you haven't already made the long form version of it, or created that link on the video itself. So another way to think about migrating that audience from, as Dan says, Shorts is kind of like a very different platform, even though it's the same channel. Mm-hmm. And I think everybody still struggles with moving audiences around the channel where they can. Mm. And then the Slotmaster 316, big shout out to Coach Paul.
Hey,
has helped me with my channel. I'd love for all of you to talk about slot streaming if you ever get a chance. So I guess the one thing, Dan, we might suggest here is, especially with slot machines where you're thinking there's that dopamine hit like every 10 to 15 seconds as you spin the wheel, so to speak. Should they experiment with some vertical streaming and try and get into that short streaming?
Yes, that feels
platform.
Like it would fit, really well as a short, a vertical live stream. Based on how people find those, you know, there's a lot of people, whether they like it casually or they do it a lot. Like a lot of people visit Vegas and slot machines and things like that. So if they're scrolling, like think about it. It's that watching the thing go, like, well, I'll just watch one. Maybe they hit it. Oh, they didn't. They're pulling the lever again. I'll stick around. Oh, they didn't get it that time. Oh, they got it. You know. Oh, they're pulling it again. Are they gonna hit the jackpot again? Like, there's gonna be people who stop and watch that. You got to try a vertical live stream. I think that'd be interesting.
And that is a nice little segue to our sponsor today, which is ourselves. Yes, we are sponsored by vidIQ's one-on-one coaching. So as you can see here, the Slot Master has been working with Coach Paul. Coach Paul, I suggest you take our conversation and throw it out to Paul and see what he says, because you can message him asynchronously whenever you want, and Paul will reply. And that is their coach for the Slot Master 316. And you can have your own coach here at vidIQ with relatively competitive nominal fee. You know, I keep saying that we're going to bankrupt ourselves, but hey, nobody listens to me. We charge a very competitive monthly subscription for you to have the ability to speak to a coach who is not only going to help you with kind of like strategy and advice and, you know, giving an objective view of thumbnails and videos, but also like the guiding hand, the support you need. We know that YouTube can be a lonely experience, and that's probably why you join us for 2 hours every Tuesday. Just have that casual conversation, you know, talk YouTube shop. But with a coach, you can do that more frequently, more often. There's a link in the description. Places are always limited, so do make sure to sign up if you are interested in having a YouTube coach. If it's not for you and you can't afford it, don't worry. We're here for another, 40 minutes auditing your channels, which is probably something we should get back to right now. So let me just click a couple of buttons to move away that. Sorry, Dan, yes, thank you. I know you were trying to do the same thing. And we have already audited our please selected channels, which means that it's time for a little bit of this. Okay, you can see on screen the non-AI version of the Claw.
Oh,
what
do you
a
want AI
disaster that was last week. No, I'm driving down.
I can bring him back.
No, AI Claw. Takes forever to pick any numbers. Right, so here's how it works this week. Dan, when you're hosting, do whatever you want. But today, we have 581 non-gaming channel submissions, which means that once I've stopped the music in the background, we will take the claw and pick out a number. And that number will come back to us as number 27.
Look at all the clicking and buttons he has to do. Look at all this.
I know, but it's still faster than AI Claw. We are going to now review or audit Unbox Bug, which is a tech channel. So this is a little bit down your avenue, Viper, as we welcome you to a channel we have not looked at before. No kind of preconceived impressions. And so, yeah, let's take a look at this channel, which has 600 subscribers and some spiky view counts. But yeah, what are our first impressions here?
Okay. I love the thumbnail aesthetic.
Clean, isn't it?
It's very clean, although I would be careful with some of the colors that you use with the text, because on some of these white text, you are having up against a white background or a light color background, and it's hard to see. So be careful about that. But yeah, I love the thumbnail aesthetic. One of the biggest things with me as far as tech thumbnails go is that if it is a video about a product, the product needs to be the centerpiece of the thumbnail, because that's what the viewer is coming to the video for. They're coming for the product. They're not coming for you. Some creators, including myself in the past, have made a mistake of making ourselves the centerpiece of the thumbnail, when in actuality, nobody cares about us. They care about the product. So this creator does it right by making the product the centerpiece of the thumbnails. And that's the first thing I noticed. And there seems to be a common thing with them reviewing smartphones. I like the fact that they are reviewing smartphones, although they got iPhones and Androids. I mean, you can do that. But yeah, I mean, the view count for your sub size, your channel size are very good. So I say that this creator is definitely on the right track, and keep up the good work.
Seen something interesting in the titles of some of these.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm wondering if it's throughout the entire channel ASMR. So like an auditory experience.
Oh, okay.
Is it going to include silent narration?
If it's not ASMR, it's silent unboxings. Oh. Some of them are doing well.
Yeah, because like this one, iPhone 15 unboxing, is this an ASMR one or not? So I'm just going to play it and find out.
It is, I think. It's well edited.
Okay.
Interesting.
Whoa. That caught me from surprise.
Who's that person?
That's different. That's interesting and cool. I like that. So, oh, okay. They give you a visual prompt to put the audio as high as possible.
Isn't that pretty cool?
They should jump scare you after you do that.
So I think this is pretty cool as long as they maintain this ASMR approach through all their videos. Because like, if there's any now, this one, are they? Oh no, is ASMR as well? Let's just assume at this point that they're all ASMR, so there's no narration. Because I think it would be so really jarring if they were mostly a silent unboxing channel, but then there were a few where there was audio and narration in it.
I have a theory.
Yep.
I feel like the iPhone one did well because iPhones are traditionally, Apple itself is traditionally known for its really classy unboxing experience.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of these other products, I don't know if they have that same, you know what I mean? That same recognition. So they might. But I'm just wondering, like some of them did really well, but that iPhone one in particular did really well. Maybe it's because iPhone 15 is older now. Is it? Maybe is Viper? Is there like a new iPhone 15?
No, that's not the most current iPhone.
Yeah, that's the latest one.
So 4 months ago, they unboxed something that's relatively old, and maybe that was the draw. I think what I'm getting at is there needs to be something to these videos that gets people going, oh. And some of them, like the PlayStation Portal unboxing, it didn't draw people in. But that iPhone 15 is like, oh, the iPhone 15 is very old, and they're going to unbox it today. That's what I didn't get an iPhone 15. What was the unboxing experience like back then? There's kind of, I think, something there that's beyond just I'm going to silently unbox something. It has like another draw to it.
I think this would have been unboxed when it was released down about 4 months ago.
That's what happened.
I thought iPhone 15 was old. Sorry.
No,
it came out in September, so he literally unboxed it when the phone came out. So that's why.
Nope. I'm sorry.
Like, that was a good timing video. He timed it up perfectly.
Okay. I'm an Android person now, so I apologize. I thought 15 was old.
Oh, you're good.
I went too far in the other direction. Okay. So in that sense, it was, I guess, trending.
Yeah.
The PlayStation Portal, I think, is older than 2 months, right?
Yes.
So maybe that's what it is. Sorry.
It is curious when you look at the most popular ones because the Galaxy Ultra 23 a year ago, 4,000 views, pretty good. The Galaxy Ultra 24, very recent, absolutely bombed.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the blocker here? Is it just the tech niche is ultra competitive and sometimes their unique idea just doesn't get through the noise?
Well, the S24 Ultra was unboxed over a month ago, so he was a little late on that one. So
you think so it could be like absolute timing. They have to be with the
if you're gonna unbox something, you have to unbox it at or around our launch day or our launch window or launch weekend. Otherwise, it's already been done 1,000 times on YouTube already. So
yeah, because even though it is a unique angle, the ASMR unboxing of it, it's still wrapped into the unboxing experience, which, as you say, has a very, very finite window of opportunity. So, you know, what we're maybe saying here is the creator needs to have the product on day one, if not very soon after. Yeah. Or something that's very unique that nobody else has. Correct. And I'm wondering if that's why like the Red Magic 8 did really well, because, you know, not that many people were covering that product. So they had a bit more lead time. Sorry, I keep going back to this other channel.
Yeah, I think my first theory then is what I'm going to lean into, which is that I think the product needs to be, like Viper said, current. Don't listen to what I said earlier. Very current, very on time, but then also popular. I think it has to be like the PlayStation Portal was notoriously bad in the sense that people, before they even got their hands on it, were making fun of it because of what it is and what it does and its lack of capabilities. So it's since it's such a memed on product, it's hard to convince people watching unboxing. You know, so that's sorry, that was my take there.
But when did this come out? Viper, do you know the ROG GA? Is this new or?
I think the ROG phone has been out for over a month or two. I'm not sure exactly when, but it's been out a while.
And this came out yesterday, so again, there may be a struggle to get traction with it. But again, how many people have covered that phone? So it's interesting channel, really interesting
niche
channel.
Yeah. Some products are more niche than others.
Yep.
All right, let's pick a gaming channel. I have to look at the form to see how many numbers we have. We have 470. So So far, we've only audited one gaming channel this week. And we're going to audit another one now, which is 431.
AI Claw probably would give some advice by now.
Yeah, do you reckon?
Pick some numbers. Yeah. He's very knowledgeable.
Wait until next week. AI Rob is fine when it's working, Dan, but the Claw, that's your own crazy little thing. Boomer Chef, Nordic Boomer Chef Gaming. Phew, there's a lot to try and comprehend with that gaming handle name.
Yeah.
But then we get to the thumbnails, and now we're seeing somewhat of a focus around Project Ascension, it looks like, with some encouraging traffic here. How many subscribers? 100 subscribers.
Okay.
Each video on that topic is getting 1,000 views.
Can we click on
that's interesting.
The top right corner one? Like, I'm very curious. I don't know what this game is. Maybe they're just covering it, and not a lot of people are covering it. But like, I have a lot to say about the thumbnails and the titles and stuff. But they're getting good views, and I want to know where they're from. How many comments they have?
Let's not bother with this bit. No.
Yeah, this is like.
I'm bored. Move it.
Warning. This video may contain excessive amount of level humor. Prepare for bad jokes.
It's fine having this in, but it's taking too long.
So watch
Yeah.
responsibly. Proceed with caution and a sense of
I would just
humor.
put that card up
You've
for a
been
second
warned.
and make people pause and
fellow
go back and
fancies
read
and
it.
food lovers. Welcome to NBT, your gaming and cooking guide. Today we are diving headfirst into electrifyingly and hopefully shocking build for you. In Project
This is World of
Ascension
Warcraft, is
server
it?
season
It looks
9,
like it.
The latest version of World of
where
Warcraft.
every choice you make,
Project Ascension
you
Season
need
9.
to
Wow,
get
yes, it is. It is.
compound
Okay.
power.
All right.
Okay.
Can you do me a favor, Rob? Can we go back and see exactly when the video portion of that started?
And then the comments. I wanted to see how many comments there were.
All right. Okay. So I think it was about 23 seconds.
And food lovers,
Oh, wow.
welcome to
Okay.
And then there's that whole part of welcome back to the channel. So 6 comments, 1,500 views. Something's not adding up there. And so I'm wondering if they're posting this to like maybe a subreddit or something like that, which is fine. But we are the type of people who want to help you not do that. I call that legwork. I call that you doing all this legwork to kind of push your video out there, if that's what you're doing. Whereas YouTube will do that for you. But we're hopefully here to help with, tips and advice. So some better thumbnails, better titles, things like that. Your intros. I'm so sorry to say this. They gotta go.
They got to go.
They gotta go.
go.
It's the still image at the front of the video that's doing nothing with no voiceover or anything. It's the warning message that you have that's really long. That has to go. And then your intro needs to be welcome back, blah, blah, blah. No, gone. When I see build videos for World of Warcraft and games like it, they start off so quickly. Like, this build is going to do this much damage, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And then they're chaptered out. Like, they don't get into the whole like, well, welcome to my channel where I do this thing. And he mentioned cooking, you mentioned gaming. Like, please tell me you're not also doing cooking videos on the channel. I'm so sorry. It just doesn't. Audience persona. Who like there are. I know everybody eats. I get it.
but let's say this, Dan. Apart from random cooking channels, cooking videos, they're in the right place.
Right.
You know, looking at the search traffic, there is some small channels getting big views around Project Ascension, and they are posting on a very regular cadence. So, you know, gaming channel jumping onto this niche or trend. They've done like probably the most important thing, which is channel focus and target audience. They've got that right. And then they just all of these ancillary parts around it that they need to improve and work on.
Yeah.
I want to go back to what Dan said about the intros. And I'm pretty sure we talked about this on the vidIQ airway before, but I want to reiterate this for you all. YouTube has autoplay going on with your videos, which means that when somebody scrolls or they hover their mouse cursor over your video on desktop, the first 5-10 seconds, I think first 5 seconds or whatever, plays. So if your video doesn't look like what the title and thumbnail suggest in the first 5 seconds, it's probably not getting clicked on. So just be aware that when you are crafting your video, the first 5-10 seconds need to deliver immediately on the click. Otherwise, it might get passed over.
Yeah.
I would assume that anybody who watches a second video on this channel automatically jumps to 30 seconds into the video. It'd be interesting to look at the audience retention there and see if it goes. I can't really do this on a camera, but it would. No. That doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. I was trying to illustrate a retention
I get what
graph.
you're saying.
Thanks, Dan.
Basically, the beginning of your video will have a huge dip in retention, and then people will come back to watch the part where you're actually getting to the video.
Yeah.
But if you just get rid of that first like minute or so, you're going to see a jump immediately. But then, yeah, thumbnails definitely need work. But yeah, fix those things. I bet they'll be doing even better. I mean, that's a lot of views already.
Yeah. Hang on. Let's get this number right. 346.
AI Claw would have never made that mistake.
No. You can test and find out tomorrow. It just wouldn't have worked, Dan. It wouldn't have given us any number.
It works. Just, you know, it just thinks a while.
So we are auditing. Let me just check I've picked the right channel. MoneyWithSubb. Whoa, that's a busy channel banner. And we strongly believe in, quote, learning is a treasure that will follow its owner everywhere. Okay, cool. Is this a markets channel? I think it is.
This is one of those areas where I'm going to have to say we should probably look up other channels because I don't know. I want to talk about the thumbnails, but I'm like, well, maybe this works in this niche. I don't know. They're making like daily content almost.
Today's share market update. What do we? Daily stock trading?
Something like that.
Yeah, let's go with that. These are all from quite a while ago, though.
Mm.
Let's do a filter for anything in the last week.
Game plan for the week. I'd say the thumbnails here are pretty competitive in terms of like what we were seeing on the channel. Like well, okay, some of them are very busy.
We're looking at this one. Jeez, that's an assault on my eyes.
Yeah. Well, that one, I was looking at the one below it with 21,000 views.
Yeah.
It was a stream, but yeah, it looks like there's a range. You can have the busy text thumbnails, or you could have the more clean looking ones we see all over YouTube. So I guess I'm not qualified to talk thumbnails too much here.
I want to just quickly listen to one of these.
Welcome, friends. ஸோ இன்னைக்கு 19th Feb மார்க்கெட்டில் என்ன நடந்துச்சு அண்ட் 20th Feb நாளைக்கு என்ன நடக்க போகுது அப்படிங்கிற டீட்டெயில் பார்ப்போம்.
Okay, so I think this is an Indian channel with I think Tamil language, but it's one of those where there's a kind of mix of languages, and I'm never going to tell a creator from India that they should have their titles and their thumbnails in a certain language, because I know it's kind of a use of mixed language and I don't quite fully understand it, but I just know that there's more of a how do I say this correctly? Like, there's a big difference between Dutch and English. Like, you would very much be an English language channel or a Dutch language channel, but in India, there's a blending of languages. So I don't want to really pick up on that as a negative. I guess what I would talk about here is just the lowest common denominator of a stocks trading channel is big wins and epic losses. And you want more big wins than you have epic losses. And how do you kind of immediately communicate that in a thumbnail and a title? And it's through figures, it's through numbers, it's numbers going up, numbers going down. And just like a block of text, to me, feels like it's a lot of decoding from the viewer to try and understand what's going on. And I'm seeing evidence of when they use a human in a thumbnail. My guess is it's not them, it's some stock footage. Unless these two are people on the channel, I'm going to suspect they're not. And just going over with the GIF highlight, it doesn't look as if they have themselves on screen at all. It's just a screen recording. So, you know, there's that idea of credibility as well and trust. You want to have a big trust factor in somebody who's going to be maybe influencing you to invest in certain stocks and shares. The same way as like you want credibility with a medical condition or, or physiotherapies, mental health, that type of thing. And I'm not getting a strong enough credibility vibe either.
I'm also not sure what about the market is going to be said. Like, riding the peak of the wave. Okay, my first question is, how do you know when you're at the peak? And that could be a better title and thumbnail than riding the peak of the wave. It's a bit too... I don't want to say it's vague. It's just not, it's missing like the big point for a layman like me. If you're trying to target advanced traders, maybe that's a thing. But I would say there's a lot of people who are maybe just getting into this, and like you could have them come watch your videos by using language they could better understand, and then covering topics that they're going to be like that feel obvious to you, but they're going to be questions they're going to be asking.
I could really do with finding an example channel which does this on a daily.
It's a lot of live streams.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I don't know. Would this be a channel to maybe take some cues from? Again, very text heavy, but I understand that that's a technique that's used in with the Indian audience, and it works for channels like this. So I don't want to.
They're on
to
camera too.
Yeah. So what is a nifty live chart? Is that something specific that may be of relevance to this creator? Again, I'm the layman here. I'm going into a world that I really don't understand. But I guess going back to the Heroes channel, today's market share update. That still feels a bit broad. Like,
what are the markets doing? Like, which market, and like, is it bad? Is it good? Like, that could be a different angle for these, rather than just saying, I'm going to give you an update. You know, hey, markets are down. You need to invest. You know, like, a little bit of urgency in these could help a lot.
So do mention this nifty market, I guess, in some of these titles.
We understand we're not the most qualified to speak on this.
Yeah, it's there's a knowledge gap, quite a big one. I think that we're struggling here with.
But those compared to the other channels we looked at, I do feel like there was some obvious like differences, and that's what I would encourage that creator to do, is like look at other channels in your niche and see what improvements you could possibly make.
Okay, let's pick another channel from that gaming list. 167. And we are looking at Treeee. They have nearly 10,000 subscribers.
It's a shame about their keyboard. They got to clean up that E key.
Ah, we found a Gorilla Tag channel.
Okay. This is just having a moment right now. Go to live.
Let's see if we are live streaming.
Okay, click on the latest one.
Did I ever say the code?
Okay, so they are widescreen. All right. Well, my first piece of advice is, why don't you try a vertical?
Yep.
Okay.
Path of least resistance there.
Yeah. So almost 10,000 subscribers. Congrats to you. I love the latest video. He controlled me in Gorilla Tag, and that's really interesting. The thumbnail's good. The idea seems good. 1,000 people watched this video. That's awesome. It was from 8 days ago. So this is Gorilla Tag's hardest challenge. I made my sister a pro in Gorilla Tag. These are not just like Gorilla Tag episode 1 titles. This is like, I'm gonna have an idea and I'm gonna execute on the idea, and they try to communicate it in a nice clear thumbnail. This is doing very, very well for them.
It's like taking popular ideas and stories from uber popular games like Minecraft and Roblox, and then ejecting them into what I guess is either a trending game or a game that has a big community that's underserved on YouTube.
Absolutely.
So I guess what we say, Dan, is yes, obviously maybe try the vertical live streaming, because you may get significantly more views than this and subscribers. But also, you know, I think there's maybe a commit to consistency thing. Although, you know, with these storytelling videos, maybe they do take longer to produce. Maybe it does take two weeks each video to make something. So I don't want to maybe force them to do one video a week. That's probably not the right solution for this channel.
Let's go to shorts and just see if they... Oh, wow.
So one big outlier there. And then shorts-wise, hey, look, if you recent shorts are getting thousands of views, sometimes tens of thousands of views, I don't know what this channel's doing everything right. Like, just do more of what you're doing successfully in vertical live streams.
Yeah, I'd say the thumbnails, if you go back to the latest, they're good.
Sure,
They communicate well. Be better. They could be a little better. They could be cleaned up a little bit more, simplified a bit more. But hey, like your latest one, that's like kind of the direction I think you should be going. Maybe the brightness of the gorillas could be a little bit better, and the brightness of the sky could be a little bit less, because the sky is brighter than some parts of the foreground, and it's a subtle thing, but it makes it a little bit harder for my eye to go to where it needs to go, which is that string that's holding the arm of the gorilla. That's like the last thing I see, but that is the premise of the entire video right there. So just keep working on your Photoshop editing skills, whatever you're using for that. And yeah, this is excellent.
All right, I think we should go back to our super chats, see if we can round off those. And I will also do a bit of a sub count check here. Where are we at? We're now at 1,781,347. Can we get this up to 400 by the end of this live stream? It's entirely, you can make this happen. I can't make this happen. But we also need to do some super chats. And they come from the following. Hey, yo, Dabido. Any advice on trying to balance live streaming and making YouTube videos? I primarily live stream and I want to make more long form videos, but it's hard when I work full time and stream every night, Monday to Friday. Wow, that's they're already well into this. I guess
there's your problem.
Live streaming is easy in the sense that you can just turn on your computer, press record, and have fun with an audience.
Yeah.
So, have you considered turning your live streams into regular videos on demand?
You cut them down.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can do
that in itself requires work, though, doesn't it? To turn it into a long form video.
I still think you can't do that with a Monday through Friday daily stream and a full-time job. I've been trying what they're doing, but not daily live streams. Just, hey, I'm going to stream and then I'm going to try and make long-form videos. Guess what I'm not able to do? And I've been trying to cut those down, but the streams are like 4 hours long, and who's going to cut that down? You know what I mean? So it's definitely a sacrifice has to be made. If I want to make long-form videos, I'm going to have to make a sacrifice. I know it's not easy to do. You've told everyone I'm going to do Monday through Friday streams. Maybe you take a couple days off, but you're making videos. Those videos are going to have a greater impact than those streams if done right, because they're going to draw a lot of new people to your channel ideally. And the next time you go live, if you're getting 100 viewers concurrently, you're going to notice, wow, it's 120 today. What happened there? Oh, one of my videos brought in some new people and they saw me go live. You know, you cannot just like grow solely doing live streams. In my opinion, you can, but it's just difficult. Like if you have ideas for long form videos, and it sounds like you do, you have to make a sacrifice.
Because I'm at a slightly odd camera angle, I can do this. Viper, you live stream on a very regular basis. How do you manage your time between long form and live streams?
Well, I only live stream once a week when I'm on point. So that I'm a little bit different from this creator. But, you know, I mean, when you want to get it done, you figure out a way to get it done. So I think, some of it is time management. You just have to figure out how to manage your time better to do the stuff that you want to do.
It's like Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park. YouTubers find a way.
I mean, I know it's kind of hard, but it's the reality.
Useless builds. Not as useless as when he joined us 6 months ago, because they've learned so much from us, and they get a unique sound effect for this week, which is the following. Oh, damn, we combined our sound effects quite well there. Should we do it again? 3, 2, 1.
Y'all from Wild Boys.
Aren't we so childish? The Golden Mindset, thank you for reviewing this. Yeah, you're welcome. I've been applying for 45 weeks. Goodness. So it proves that dedication does win the audit eventually. Yes, we are upgrading our quality every week with in-house editors, writers, and voiceover artists.
Nice.
We'll be back with 10,000 subscribers. I love that attitude. It's like, I've taken on board what you've said. I'm going to keep working at this YouTube thing, and I'm going to come back when I'm a bigger channel, and hopefully we can share more advice with you then. Great attitude to have. Free Game Pass Hunters, another super chat from them. Has the vidIQ AI for titles and suggestions ratings changed? Recently saying my titles are unclear. So as with any AI tool, it's upgrading and improving and learning all of the time. I'm not sure what you mean by the titles are unclear. Is that the advice it's giving you back from asking it the question? I'm a little unclear by what you're saying on that specific point.
You know what I'll say is take a screenshot for sure and go ahead and email our support team, because
absolutely
that is the kind of thing that helps improve. I know sometimes when you email a company, it feels like it's going into a void, but I promise you, like, that kind of feedback is exactly what we're looking for when we try to improve our tools. Like users using it every day and going, hey, I did this thing. Why did it do this? And just the fact that even if it's not a feature or not a bug, but a feature, like just the fact that you're questioning it is good for us to know.
Next question comes from Coy Wilson III. Any advice on video editors for newbies? The one I'm currently using keeps going up in price the more videos I make.
Are they good though? Do you feel like they're improving along with you? It's kind of a matter of like
options.
Right, like are the videos getting more views? Are they going further? Like, is it benefiting you, or do you feel like you're here and their prices are doing this? You know, yeah, like it may be time to find a new one. There are websites for it. It's a difficult question. I'm in multiple like creator groups, and you would be surprised at the size of some of the channels that struggle with this. Like, it can be very challenging.
Yeah,
not with the prices going up. I'm talking about specifically finding an editor.
I think. Oh, hang on. I'm completely misinterpreted this question. I thought it was video editing software.
No, I think they're hiring an editor.
Yeah,
but the editor charging.
I'm all confused.
Oh, sorry. I was I'm in a different place. I thought you guys were on board.
I was about to say, why don't you try CapCut? It's like an online editor. I'm sure that's free. I'm sorry.
Maybe you're right. Maybe there's an editing software every time you make a video.
That's what I was confused about.
But I've never heard of that. I was assuming it was a human that was saying, hey, we've done a lot of videos now, my prices have gone up. But if they're doing a good job and their quality is going up and you're getting more views, maybe that's what they're accounting for.
Yeah.
You could ask them, like, hey, I noticed your prices go up every time, but listen, like, I'm not getting those kinds of results. Is there anything we can do? But if their prices are their prices, then it's time to find someone else, and that's a challenge. I respect how difficult that is.
Otherwise, CapCut. Joe Gert. It takes me weeks to edit my videos. Hey, maybe we can get Coy Wilson and Joe Gert to have some sort of business arrangement.
We've heard about an editor that you could use.
I get thousands of views, but I have a hard time creating a community without consistency. Should I stockpile uploads and post a bunch quickly, or continue the same?
What is stopping you from being consistent, though? That's the real question.
I think it's a time. I think this creator is judging the fact that because they can only publish videos every few weeks, that means a lack of consistency, which isn't necessarily true, but I can see where they're coming from.
Batch posting is just going to eventually set you back to square one. Like, that's not going to magically make up for the lack of time you have to make these videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think, well, this is not really help much, but you're going to need to find a way to kind of lessen your time it takes to edit. Like, maybe you can't be as fancy as you would like to be. That means you can get the videos out quicker. So
I'm with you on this, Viper. Like, and Dan's used this term earlier. Are you being a perfectionist?
Yep.
When like done is better than perfect? Like,
did I say that? When did I say that?
No, you said kill your darlings in the sense that, you may be spending ages on this particular thing that you love and it takes you hours to do, but the audience is a bit meh. Yeah, it's cool, but I would still watch the video anyway. Like, are there bits that you could trim off that allow you to like, let's say you create a video that's 80% of your best, but it takes you like less than half the time to create. So like you're saving time and you're not losing too much quality, and then it means you can post more with your audience. That's something you got to juggle with. Like, I think all creators have this real struggle with quantity versus quality. And through your question, it sounds like you're placing too much emphasis on quality and not getting enough results from that high quality, to suggest that you may want to just lower the quality a little bit to increase the quantity significantly. That doesn't impact how your audience reacts to it. But it's a fine balance. It is a fine balance. Now, is that all the super chats? Because I'm worried that I've missed loads.
I've been removing them as we've been going through.
Yeah, because there was a lot at the beginning, and then there didn't seem to be a lot in the second half, which is unusual for us. But if we've not missed any super chats,
I don't think we have.
I've shocked myself. So, yay. Thank you. Everybody.
If we have, I'm sorry, and it's my fault.
Yeah. Dan, do you just want to check in the live control center and just see if there's any ones that, like, StreamYards didn't put up there? It's just unusual that it's done that way.
You asked me, you all received. We got another one here from...
Yeah, I know we got one more.
Red Beard Flynn.
Just want to say cheers for all the assistants to myself and all the other creators. Thanks. Here they all come.
Yeah.
You don't have 4K. To. We're not saying, not enough people gave us money. It was just
we don't need any more.
Miss anybody.
Started showing my face, but bland personality and my main language, French, would get me even fewer views gaming than now. What should I do?
I don't think we missed anyone. Okay, so showing my face, bland personality, and my main language, French, would get me even fewer views gaming. So you're saying if you switch to speaking in French, you feel like you get less viewers?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so bland personality. I think this is... I don't know anything about you, but it could be a little bit of imposter syndrome there. You could feel like you have a bland personality, but maybe people aren't feeling that way, especially if you're getting viewers. But it's... I would say if that's the case, practice. Like that's literally what it is just sitting down and like getting good at this. If you look at some of the biggest creators on YouTube and go back to their original videos and look where they're at today, you'll notice there's been a transformation over that time. Like they've been getting better just by doing it more and trying to push themselves too, challenge themselves to do better. So it literally is just getting your reps in and practicing. Try to be aware of your shortcomings in that department and go, okay, how do I improve that though? Like, how do I speak more clearly or look more excited? Like, you know, maybe you're not playing an exciting thing and you feel like your personality is bland because the game you're playing is bland, and maybe that's the problem. Like there's so many things it could be. We don't know, we're not looking at your content, but definitely like get your reps in.
What a beautiful answer from Dan, which allowed me to pick a channel in the background from the Claw, and it is BRICKFILMZZ Theater. They have 78 subscribers, 59 videos, and we've seen many Lego animation channels in the past, and this one looks as if they're going for mostly their own IP and idea. Like they're not trying to do Marvel stop motion or, you know, a popular cultural thing. It's their own stories with varying view counts, but mostly, if not all, are the same as subscriber size, if not higher. So that's, again, the first positive.
Okay. This type of content is a little tough because you, like Rob said, you're doing your own thing, but in doing your own thing, the question then becomes, why should Viper, Rob, Dan care about the content? And I think this one right here, where you have the Lego guy turn into a zombie, there is stakes associated with this particular video. So I think that's why this one got more views, because there's something on the line. The Lego dude turn into a zombie. There's some sense of urgency with this one. I thought in your other video, there's no sense of urgency. There's no stakes associated with them. So again, the viewers, why are they going to care if there's nothing going on as far as, oh my God, I gotta watch that? So you're gonna have to figure out a way to, you know, have that emotional tie-in to a viewer with these videos. Give us a reason to care about them, because if not, then they're not gonna get that many views.
It's very good.
It's cool animation, wasn't it? Even with the sound off, I could get the story.
It's a little slow. I agree. It's a little slow. Like, I feel like you should have drank the drink a lot sooner. I love the face.
drink a lot.
I've got green hands now.
Bad.
Oh, look at that.
So I do think that's okay. I was gonna say something about trending topics, but then I saw that video. I'm like, all right, Lego guy turns into a zombie is a very, very, very simple concept. People know what zombies are, people know what Legos are, and it just kind of works. So I think when you are considering your ideas, you have to understand that they need to relate to as many people as possible. And if you're going to tell your own stories, that's okay. But then how do you make that relate to as many people as possible? So Lego guy turns into a zombie is a great example. Everyone understands that on the surface. Otherwise, you could do an animation about something that happened, a trending event that everyone's talking about, and you could whip up a fun Lego stop motion about it just to kind of bring in some new people as well. But telling your own stories, doing like a series of videos about your own characters, and those titles are very, very specific. Like this latest one, Corco Blue Power, like the first mission. It seems like this is probably going to be a high-end thing for you, but no one knows what any of those things are or mean, and we're not bringing in enough new viewers. I would say, Rob, this is the plight of YouTube creators, right? Like, making something that is like a passion project just for you.
Yeah.
This is the biggest creators on the platform will struggle with this, right? Like making something that is a very original piece of work. It's difficult. It has to relate to people still, and that's the challenge. That's what's very, very difficult to do.
A good example of where there might be an opportunity if it's coming up fairly soon, the Oscars. This is essentially a global event, or to the Western world at least. And there will be some thing that happens. It might not be Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, maybe not as major as that, but there'll be some episode which could be turned into a stop motion version or comedy sketch of it. Now, again, does the creator want to choose to do that? It's entirely up to them. But immediately it has a lot more accessibility to a much wider audience. And another thing is, all of these are short, long-form videos. This one Lego guy turns into a zombie. I think you could turn that into a 15 to 20-second short. And it would tell the story a lot quicker. And I think it would be just as intriguing and curious to an audience. So do you want to experiment with shorts as well? I feel as if this is ideally suited content to shorts, and it would force you to edit in a faster storytelling style as well.
Yeah. If you could tell that story in 30 seconds.
As I said at the beginning, 78 subscribers. Every video is getting more views and subscribers. You know, we see gaming channels that do Let's Play and get stuck in like 10 views or less. They're getting hundreds of views already with their own passion projects, as you rightly said, Dan. And that is very encouraging for this creator, the development of their channel.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done.
Let's move on and pick a gaming channel. We're now up to 500 responses on gaming as well. 1,100 channels are submitted this week. That's a big number. And I think we've audited about 10 channels this week. It is the plight of a weekly live stream. We are auditing this time a channel that goes by the name of MirnaRealYT. 4 subscribers, 5 videos. I think they are very new to YouTube. Started at the end of January, so this channel is less than a month old. And we'll assume they're doing shorts. Let me just check. Yeah, they are predominantly a shorts channel. And I see some pet simulator stuff. All pet simulator stuff until they do something about Temu, which is, I think, isn't that a Chinese consumer company?
Yeah,
that
something
sells
like that.
really cheap stuff.
Yeah.
So they had a bit of momentum here with this day 1, day 2, but then they kind of got bored of it after 2 days and moved on to something else.
Yeah, I would encourage this creator to watch the live stream for like a lot of other channels we're giving advice to. And I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to dismiss them, but the thing is, with only 4 shorts and 1 long form video, there's not enough for us to really sink our teeth into, and you're really, really just getting started. So we can't really give you a lot of great advice here, more than what we could give you from just watching the stream, right? Like we covered a lot of topics today. Make videos for a specific target viewer over and over again. Have good thumbnails and titles, practice, get your reps in. All those things apply to this channel because there's just not a lot here.
What I would advise is, going forward, make the packaging about the audience rather than you. Because you say day 1 and 2 of checking gifts in Pet Simulator. I assume that's your own Pet Simulator. And Who Wants to Be in My Clan? Try and make it a little bit more, again, accessible to an audience. Like, this is what you will get on day 1 of gifts on Pet Simulator 99. So again, it just makes it feel more inclusive to the audience. That would be my one piece of advice.
I want you to all listen to me very carefully. So I put out a question on Twitter yesterday about what are some of your biggest complaints about YouTube, and a few of you all talked about the algorithm. What I need you to understand is that when you talk about the algorithm, you are literally talking about your audience, the people that watch your content. This is why we always talk about understanding your target audience, figuring out what your audience avatar is. Who is your video for? That's the way that you have to go about making your content. You need to figure out who you want to watch the video and then craft the content in such a way that it attracts those people. Because when you do that, they will gravitate towards your content, and that is how you build a audience, build your community, stuff like that. So all these things about y'all complaining about an algorithm or why you're not getting views, this, that, and the other, do you know who your videos are for? And are you making your content for them? That simple.
Mm-hmm.
Who do we think seriously different videos are for, with 750 subscribers and a collection of videos that look like this.
It seems like Mr. Beast style challenges. Sort of. If you subscribe, you add a marshmallow to my mouth.
That's a funny thumbnail if you just look at it for 3 seconds. I do like that. It may be a bit complicated to decode when it's at that size, but it makes me want to watch.
But the marshmallow one stood out to me because I understood it immediately. I don't feel like it's the most interesting concept, but it did well. And that is what's missing in these videos as well, I would say, is I'm not understanding a lot of the concepts. I feel like there's something going on here, like there's ideas and they're definitely doing things, but it just isn't resonating with me in the titles and thumbnails.
So challenges, comedy, and seriously different videos. So in fact, it sounds like at this point they haven't quite found their little pocket of content and style that's going to work with their audience set. And so I think when a creator is at this stage, Dan, I would encourage them to continue making videos like this to skill up, gain like to make better thumbnails, to be a better on-camera presence, to make better packaging. Because at some point, given where the creator is, they'll probably have some outlier videos. They must have had an outlier short or two, given that they've close to 1,000 subscribers. Yeah, I thought they might have had a couple like this. So they've had some stuff about kind of like that joke of maybe you have a conversation with your grandparents and they're not talking about the same thing and they've got a technical problem. I don't know, but there was a little bit of success here. I'm wondering if I could do like a compilation of that into a long form video, because that seemed to have a bit of success. Doesn't feel as if I've tried to do that as a long form piece of content.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's, when it comes to the long forms, I think there's just kind of like a communication thing. It's about, you have some ideas that you're testing, but it's also about communicating those effectively.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you? Yeah, all's good. I was thinking if we could go biking tomorrow and we could go up next to Ben Nevis. There's also gondolas going up there. You can take that, but it costs like 80 quid to go up. And they also lend bikes in case you don't have stuff. Hold your...
I think there's a misalignment of an expectation, because what I thought this was going to be, like taking it literal, I thought it would be a number of skits where there'd just be some text on screen like "hold your horses" and then them picking them up, and then another skit. But once I got into a video, that just felt like a bit more of a convoluted story that was trying to be told, and it didn't seem to relate at all to the thumbnail and the title. So I got a little lost there.
Yeah, I think there's a delivery, you know, again, practicing. It's just that delivery was not timed super well.
So like I almost don't want to say to this channel, do this specific thing for this audience yet. Like just keep making videos. Like what is your minimal viable video? Get good at that. And you'll learn along the way what videos you enjoy making and what your audience enjoys watching.
Yeah.
Because I feel as if there's a lot of creativity and ideas on this channel, and I don't want to trample on them. I want them to bloom as they get into YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, look at the time.
Yeah. Do you want to just really quickly address these last two supers?
Okay, then. They've snuck in, have they?
They snuck in there, but no more.
Right.
Watch vidIQ since I began. I have just hit 1 million views. Hit full monetization. Also not far off my goals of going full time. Hey, congrats.
Oh, that's brilliant to hear.
Love that.
Love it.
Living the dream. Living a dream.
And then what to do if the niche you want is smaller than the niche you're attracting and having success with.
Ride the success.
Ride the success?
Literally.
You have the opposite problem, I think, everybody else on YouTube. I don't know. Do you have a good answer for this, Rob?
Let me read this again. What to do if the niche you want is smaller than a niche you are attracting and having success with? Start a new channel with something that targets that smaller niche. The other argument is that it may be a smaller niche, but you might be a much bigger fish in that smaller niche. So you attract a similar audience, or if not a bigger audience, or the audience has a bigger disposable income, so it means it's more financially sustainable. There's pros and cons.
Yeah.
Many pros and cons.
All right. That was it.
We can hear the music playing now, which means we've come to the end of another live stream. Thank you, Viper, for joining us for this second hour. Very much appreciated. Where can we find you on the internet?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. Secondly, I am the head of social media for vidIQ, so I run our account, our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I host our podcast called Tube Talk. Find me on all of the vidIQ social things. I will be there.
Dan, where can we find you?
Video coming out Friday. So be on the lookout for, I think I do. Yeah, video coming out Friday.
Exciting stuff. And you will find me on vidIQ somewhere at some point. Stick around. We might be trying a little experiment this week, but I don't want to reveal too much. You'll just have to subscribe and turn on the bell notification.
Yeah, hit the
bell.
bell.
Not that anybody really does that or cares about it. But
knock some dust off that bell for us, please.
for this, you would have to do that. But I'm not going to reveal any more than that. You've been watching a vidIQ live stream for another week. We will see you very, very soon.